everybody, long time no see. It's been a very long time since my last video. I do apologize. I've been really busy with schoolwork, also being really sick. I've had a cold and some flu symptoms, so I apologize for the lack of video updates. I do have a few that I captured on my phone over the last few weeks, so you can have a look, have a listen right away, and then when we come back, I'm going to be talking about how I stay fit when I'm sick. So I've got to teach anti-oppressively. Can't let my privilege get the best of me. Okay, so it is Sunday, October 12th. It's in the morning right now. It is Thanksgiving weekend, and I am actually home in good old Estevan, my hometown, with family and friends for some food, drinks, and fun, and decided to do a fitness routine while I'm home. One thing I noticed when I came home is there's this running path here up by my high school, just back there, and they actually paved it, which is awesome. I came up here, was just expecting to run around a gravel path, and here it's completely paved, so it was nice to have that flat, safe, consistent running base instead of running on rocks or cracks and, possibly tripping and hurting myself, or not having that good support for my running position. It felt really good. Okay, this is Blair. I am home again in Estevan. I just ended up finishing yet another run. I'm just home to visit some family and friends and figured that I'd take advantage of tonight and go out for a nice light jog. So I'm going to be talking about that in today's video. Hi friends, so it is currently Friday, November 14th, if I'm correct. So I've been keeping up with my fitness routines for the most part. Map My Workout, that app that I had been talking about in my last few videos, is really working out for me, so I've been kind of sticking with it. I like it because if for some reason I don't have a chance to quick write down, how my run went or how my fitness went, I'm still able to keep track of it right on my phone, and that's really nice. It has it all right there set up for me, so I have still been using it as well. With this cold weather approaching, I've been spending less time running outdoors and spending obviously more time at the university gym and doing some at-home workouts as well. Obviously, over the past few weeks, I've been battling a cold, some flu symptoms, and a few other minor things, so I had to miss a few days of class, and I hate missing class. It is the absolute worst. I just find I get behind, and obviously getting sick is something that happens to everyone, and it always comes at the worst times. It always comes when it's really unexpected. So I had to deal with it, and I did. So one important thing for me as far as fitness goes in the last few weeks is making sure that I'm keeping up with my fitness while I'm sick, but that I'm not causing more harm than good to my body. My body is a temple, and I have to respect it. So for this week's video, I decided to focus on some tips that I came up with on how to stay fit while I was sick. It all depends on what illness, obviously, that I'm suffering from. When I had my flu symptoms, I was not getting out of bed at all. I was not moving at all. But with this winter season coming up, change of season, obviously people around me and myself are finding that we're catching colds much easier. And so this is kind of these tips have to do more with someone if they have maybe cold symptoms that obviously still are tough, but that seem to kind of go away on their own. So the number one tip I have is rest. When I started getting sick, the first few days were spent either sleeping or just generally resting up my body. Obviously, when you first catch something and the worst days are among you, obviously you want to just make sure that you get that rest and that you don't go too hard during a workout. The first day you find you've got flu symptoms, you do not want to get up and go for a 4-kilometer run around the block. You obviously want to give your body some rest and make sure that you can kind of start it on the healing process. So number two, once you get over the worst days, I find that it's good to start lightly into your workout. What I found was that instead of running hard for, say, 40 minutes, I would go maybe 30 minutes and just walk and do a light jog. Obviously, I had to cut back on some of my time spent doing fitness, but I still made sure that it was important. I felt I was still getting my exercise, but that I wasn't pushing myself back even further and getting sick again and having to start that cycle again. So obviously just starting off really lightly. Number 3, obviously staying hydrated. Very, very important. I cannot stress this enough. It is just super important, not only for life, but during fitness as well, and when you are sick. You want to be hydrated. You want to drink plenty of water normally, so when you're sick, it's that much more important. You know the old saying, when you're sick, you want lots of sleep and lots of fluids. Plenty of sleep, plenty of fluids. It's still the same with fitness. I found that I was drinking a lot more water than I normally do, and there's no harm in drinking a little bit more water, but I just found that even when I was sick, I was getting really dehydrated quickly, so drinking water just really helped out with that as well. Number 4 is nutrition. You want to make sure that you are fueling yourself up and eating when you can. I know a lot of times when you're sick, certain foods can kind of push you away or you don't want to eat certain foods, but even I found just having a bowl of chicken noodle soup and then doing my fitness routine really helped. Just having that little bit of fuel before I did my routine really helped out a lot, and I also made sure that I was eating well too. While I was sick, obviously, I wasn't binging on Big Macs and poutines, although I really do love those things. I just made sure that I was eating a lot more vegetables, just a lot fruits and veggies, and getting all that protein that I needed to keep me fit. And number 5, obviously, this has to do with any time, not just when you're sick, but it's very important, is just to listen to your body. Now, I know a lot of people say, how can you listen to your body? Well, you can feel it when you're not feeling well. If you start doing push-ups, you notice that your arms are feeling weak. Don't push yourself just because you feel like you need to get that fitness routine in that week. You can just take plenty of time to cool down in the meantime, do some light stretching, do a lot of stretching. Stretching is very good to do, and it doesn't really require a whole bunch of effort, physical effort, but it's also a very important fitness thing to do, so you could do that as well. Even just taking a leisurely walk, I found that this is what I often resorted to, and honestly, it felt good enough for me just to go for that quick walk around the block, make sure I bundled up, went for a walk, and sometimes by the end of the walk, my body was just telling me, no, 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 Blair, you have to sit down, stop with the movement, and just sit down and take a break. And if that's what I needed, then that's what I did. It's obviously very important to keep physical fitness a priority, but physical fitness is also really influenced by your emotional well-being, and I find that when you're in the classroom, you're in the gym, you're at home, having a good health is super important. And that doesn't just mean going for a run around the block. It means that you're mentally healthy and that you're happy, and those are very important things. Stress can do a lot on your body, not just physical stress, but emotional stress as well. And so being sick, obviously, you need to keep that in your head and make sure that your emotional well-being is okay too. So hopefully that all made sense. Those are my own tips and tricks that I found worked really well for me. You can try whatever works for you. Obviously, if you find that some things don't work for you, do not use them at all. I'm not stressing that you have to, but it's also just very important to keep these in mind when you are sick, because everyone gets sick at one point in their lives and you're going to have to deal with it eventually. Other than that, thank you very much for sticking around, being patient with me during this process. I do apologize for the lack of videos, lack of blog posts. They will be coming up now more frequently because I do actually have more time. They've cut back my hours at work. I don't have as many school assignments coming up, so I actually do have a lot more time to focus more on the reflection part and more on providing you with information on what I've been doing. So that's kind of what's going to be happening over the next little while. Over the next week, I'm going to be creating a motivational fitness board for me. Just going to have a bunch of motivational factors, and I will feel free to share that with you in my next video so that you can just kind of see what I've made and feel free to make one on your own as well. Other than that, have a happy and healthy week, and I will see you soon.